Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video where we're kind of clocking down the showcases now. We have about, after this one, 5 or 6 left I think. There's still quite a lot considering there's still a bunch of content to come on the rest of these like hero units, and from the Dokkan Awakenings to the EZAs. There's still a bunch of content to come. I'm kind of slowing down on uploading like just ridiculous amounts of like in a day, but I'm gonna have to kind of step back up a little bit because there's just so much content to cover. But the support on the channel has been dope, so hopefully we can keep that going. So if you could do me a favor, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. All the support is very much appreciated. And now the next one we are doing is another one of my boys, or another version of my boy, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Of course, he's a crossover unit. We've got one of Vegeta's family team just because a lot of the links he actually shares, funny enough, is with this man's, who kind of happy I picked up with coins back in, was it year 6 anniversary? I think I picked him up with coins. Might be, I can't remember. Whenever he came back last is when I picked him up with coins. They actually share quite a few links together, like Super Saiyan, Saiyan Warrior Race, Golden Warrior, Royal Lineage, Prodigies. Do they share? I hope they share Fierce Battle. Do they share Fierce Battle? They do share Fierce Battle. So we linking in with them, or him, not them. And also we got Big Papa. We got Big Pups, Xeno, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta on the team again, just because to keep the Jungle Heroes theme. We've also got the Black Mars Saiyan, who I've got as well, because he shares a few links with the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Hopefully next year. Is it next year? It might be next year, I can't remember. But hopefully he gets an EZA like next year or so, because that would be quite cool to have another Vegeta unit. Or Black Mars Saiyan, who's not actually Vegeta, but we know it's Vegeta. Pick up an EZA, that'd be kind of cool. And then of course, we can't, I don't think he hasn't not been on the team since I've used him in a showcase, and that's the Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. I like him a lot, I do like him a lot. I think the almost 6 year wait for his EZA, no, his Dokkan Awakening, sorry, just ended up being so worth it. Yeah, of course, he's going to be supporting with that attacking defense plus 40%, because Vegeta, of course, is not only an ally on the team, but also because he is a crossover category ally, so he'll also be getting that extra, was it attacking defense plus 15% on top of like the 25 he already gets from the allies he gives anyway. So yeah, we're going to hop into a Dokkan event, see what my boy can do. He is rainbowed, which not a lot of these Dragon Heroes and crossover units are, so it'd be nice to see how he does rainbowed. And yeah, we're going to hop into a Dokkan event, see what he can do. Okay, so we're in the Dokkan event, and Jeets is on rotation immediately, and we don't have too bad of a setup straight away. We have 5 links active: Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior, Prodigies, Fierce Battle, and Royal Lineage. We're getting the extra, was it, Fierce Battle from Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta right now. What is all that actually giving us? That's something I don't often check a lot. But in terms of all of our links, we're getting an extra attack plus 10%, an extra attack plus 5%, all enemies defense minus 5%, and the key is not really much of an issue. An extra key plus 1, we're getting an extra 10% on attack, and we're also getting an extra 15% on attack. So yeah, some pretty nice links. I mean, a lot of these Dragon Ball Heroes units and crossover units has very good links anyway. I mean, Super Saiyan, Saiyan Warrior Race, Golden Warrior, Royal Lineage, Prodigies, Limit Breaker from Fierce Battle, they're all very good links in general for just Super Saiyan units. I mean, they're kind of typical standard links, so it's a pure Saiyan Super Saiyan unit. It's gonna have good links and link with a lot of good units in the game with no trouble at all. Has those typical Vegeta units like Vegeta link, sorry, like Royal Lineage and Prodigies. I mean, he's got very good links. He's got very good links. So turn 1, we're looking at 183k attack stat and 90k defense. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. That's a decent starting point. We're gonna give you those, so you can pick up all of those tech orbs, get a super off, and we'll avoid the super with both Xeno, Big Pups, Xeno Vegeta, and also the LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And turn 1 attack stat is 1.3 million. I'm pretty sure he has some build up in his passive, so that's not a bad starting point, if you will. So in terms of his leader skill, he is a Super Saiyan 3 category lead, giving key plus 3, HP and attack and defense plus 120%, or Fizz types key plus 3, HP and attack and defense plus 90%. We need to rotate you off, get you on rotation with the boy. And yeah, so if you are missing, if you are newer to Dokkan and you are missing the Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, which you probably would if you're newer to the game, because I don't think he's been back. I don't think he's been back for a hot minute, if I'm being honest. So if you're new to the game, you probably definitely don't have him. because I don't think he's been back for a while. So if you do have the Fizz Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, not the GT, I think the GT one might be Super Saiyan 3 category lead as well, probably. But if you are missing him, you do have a sub lead for Super Saiyan 3 category in this guy after his Dokkan Awakening. On Super Attack, he does cause supreme damage to enemy and raises attack by 50% and defense by 30% for 6 times, which is very nice, especially in the likes of you know, the harder events, SBR, ESBR, Goku event, those type of things. So that is very nice indeed. And after supering, we are on a 254k attack stat. So that attack raised by 50% will definitely come in handy indeed. Also has 118k attack defense stat, sorry. We do need him to take damage, right? Yes, with each attack received. So we will be putting him in that first slot to take the most damage. Gonna give you those. Avoid the super with both of you. Prolong this a little bit. And as we do get into his passive, it's another unit of attack and defense plus 120%. I don't know why Dokkan has been... They've been on 120% with like all of these awakenings and easy A's. It's kind of weird. No 150, not even like 130. I don't know. It's just everyone's just got 120. It gets an additional attack plus 10% up to 60, and defense. The way they've worded that is kind of weird. It goes plus an additional attack plus 10% up to 60%, and defense, and chance of performing a critical hit plus 5% up to 30% with each attack received. So we can get an additional attack and defense plus 60% in total with each attack received. And we can also get our crit chance plus 5% each time we receive an attack up to 30%. So we need to be attacked 6 times in total. I think we've been attacked 3 times. I think we got attacked 1 time in the first turn. Actually, no, I don't think we did. No, we definitely did. I think we've been attacked 3 times in total. So we're halfway there. And he's on the SSJ3 phase. So we should definitely be getting that off. So yeah, once he's fully built up, we'll have the attack and defense plus 120 from his passive in general. Then he'll have an additional 60% on attack and defense. And also he'll have a crit chance up to 30%, which is very nice to have a built-in crit. So, I mean, in terms of if you do have dupes in this guy, or you've gotten dupes from recently pulling off the Dragon Ball Heroes banner, you're probably looking at more in the additionals to be given him. But it will be nice to have the extra 30% crit once he's fully built up, on top of the crit chance he already has from the dupes system if you do have dupes in him. In fact, what path have I gone down? He does actually have more crits, but to be fair, he didn't have a Dokkan Awakening for about 3-4 years, so yeah. I mean, it's equally kind of balanced out in terms of additionals and crit, just more into crit, so I mean, I don't really mind that too much. But he's now up to a 483k attack stat on 175 ki, definitely not gi. A gi is something Goku has. For 175k defense. That's actually pretty nice. That's pretty nice. His attack stat is actually quite nice as well. He's not even fully built up yet, which I think after this turn he will be. We're going to leave him on rotation, of course, with the Super Saiyan GT Vegeta, because he shares more links than with the Super Saiyan 3 Big Papa Xeno. I don't know why I called him that, I'm not going to lie. But with the Super Saiyan 3 Xeno Vegeta. So after this turn, he will be fully built up, which is good. He's now fully built up. 2.4 million attack stat. That's pretty decent. That is pretty decent. For a unit that isn't a Dokkan Fest, that's pretty good. That is pretty decent. But wait, there's more. In his passive, he does have a medium chance of guarding all attacks, which is only a 30% chance. I'm not gonna lie, I'll be honest, and this is a personal preference. This isn't... I'm not knocking the unit this is just purely personal preference when it comes to units in Dokkan. And I kind of blame Tech Ultimate Gohan for having this standard when it comes to guard. When it comes to guard, if they have a chance of guarding, I'm not really a fan of it, even if it's a high chance, because even though a high chance is 50%, which unfortunately this Vegeta doesn't have, he has medium, which is 30%. It means there's still, well, in this case, there's another 70% chance where he won't guard, which in some scenarios in harder events like an ESBR or GT Goku event, if you're on like a type disadvantage stage or phase, or if you get supered, and it so happens to be on this guy, if he guards, fantastic. Fantastic. But if he doesn't, you're probably going to get clocked for a bit of damage that is probably unwanted. Now, the reason why, in my personal opinion, why I don't like this is one, because obviously if a unit guards all the time, like Ultimate Gohan, then perfect. It means you're not taking probably a lot of damage, like, which is fantastic in harder events. Also, because there's a chance, if he didn't have the guard at all, I would be like, okay, that's fair. Like, he's going to be taking some damage here. I need to kind of, you know, use items to work around that. But if there's a chance, there's always a part of you that's like, I'm going to risk it for a chocolate biscuit. His guard might come off here. I don't need to waste time. And when it doesn't, you could just ruin an entire run. And that just kind of hurts the pride. But that's just my personal preference. But yeah, it's a medium chance of guarding all attacks. And if HP is 60% or less, high chance of guarding all attacks. So there is kind of like a asterisk in there. There is an if your HP is 60% or less, you have a high chance of guarding all attacks, which is nice that you have. It's definitely nice that that goes up to a high chance, but again, it's a 50% chance. So you'll have 60% HP or less. You'll have the high chance of guarding, which is great because you have more of a chance to guard. But then you have less HP, and if he doesn't guard, if that other 50% chance to kicks in, you know, that coin toss, and you get tails rather than heads, or whatever you decide to pick, and he doesn't guard, again, you have less health, and you might be clocked for a super, and that's it, runs over. Now, bearing in mind, he'll tank quite well, but still, he'll probably still take a decent amount on a super and like an ESB off, like 200k, I reckon, maybe a little bit less. But yeah, he's now fully built up. We do have him on support, or on rotation with the support trunks, or the trunks giving him support with that attack and defense plus 40%, which takes him up to a 672k attack stat and 214k defense, which I'm not gonna lie is really good. I think these have been some of the better numbers we've seen on a unit so far, apart from like potentially Super Saiyan 3 Easy A Trunks and Easy A Super Saiyan 3 Gohan. I think these have been up there in terms of numbers, but as I said, don't get me wrong, the chance of guarding is nice. It's nice that it goes up to a high chance. 2.9 million attacks, that's quite nice. It's nice that he does have the chance to guard, and he does get a high chance to guard after going down to 60% HP or less, but I guess it's just personal preference when it comes to chance of guarding, because if he doesn't, you're going to probably taking a decent amount of damage. But also, he reduces damage received by 40% when guard is active, of course, which again is great. But then if the guard doesn't come off, there's no guard, there's no damage reduction, there's just damage. And you don't want damage. That's why you want the guard to come off. Which is why if it was, you know, guards all attacks, no chance, just guards all attacks, it'd be really good, because then you're constantly getting that damage reduction. But I don't know, maybe that's me being greedy, but that's just, as I said, it's personal preference. But in terms of his defense anyway, I mean, in 2021 Dokkan, you're probably going to be running him on a category that has like 170% like HP attack and defense, or like at least 170% attack and defense or something, and then like 150 HP. So then to have attack and defense plus 120, raise attack by 50% and defense by 30% on super for 6 turns, which is a decent amount of time to have that raised by the way. And don't forget, most time you're going to be supering every turn. Then when he's fully built up, you get an extra attack plus 60% and extra defense plus 30%. So 30%, 120%, another 30%. He'll be tanking a decent amount in total. Better than other units in the game once he's fully built up. But then again, his defense stat in general, like the actual like stat, the numbers you have like here, isn't going to be as high as some of the other units in the game, because obviously the Dragon Ball Heroes units and crossover units aren't Dokkan Fest level when it comes to those stats, which is why having their passive be like as cracked as some of them are is incredibly useful, because it makes them insane. I'm not saying he isn't good, by the way. I'm definitely not saying that, but you know, in terms of damage taken, his defense isn't bad. It's solid, but again, it's just, as I said, I'm not a fan personally of chances to guard. It's personal preference. But now he's fully built up, no support, just links. How many links do you have active? Everything apart from limit breaking form. And what does limit breaking form give him? Attack plus 5% form of super attack, so isn't much. He's now on a 569k attack stat, 181k defense. Those are some really nice numbers. Those are some really good numbers. It's a decent unit, don't get me wrong. It's actually a pretty good unit. It's just, as I said, personally, I'm not a fan of chances to guard. But then if he does guard, regardless if it's the medium chance you get off or you have 60% less HP to get that high chance to guard off, then he's going to be a very good tanky unit. And, you know, he'll be also reducing damage received by 40% when guard is active, which is very good. 2.4 million attacks that, by the way. Got an additional 2.7. I said the numbers are good. I said it's just I'm not a fan of the chances to guard. If it was guard active at all times, I'd probably be saying how ridiculous he is, but I don't know. Maybe, I said maybe that's me being greedy and maybe me asking for too much, but that's just my personal preference. But as I said, if you do get the guard to come off, with his defense after you super attack, which, you know, slot 2 unit, ideal scenario, you're in an ESBR run, a Goku, GT Goku event run, you put him in slot 2, you get that super off, you've got the attack by 50% and defense raised by 30% for 6 turns. You've got him fully built up, got the extra attack plus 60%, got the extra defense by 30% on top of the attack and defense plus 120, he automatically gets in his flat passive, and then if you get the guard to come off, then you get the damage reduction by 40%. Then you're taking double digits on basics. You're probably taking about 100k or less on super, which is going to be very good in harder events. And then, you know, win-win. But then if your HP's more than 60% and you don't get that, you know, you get the 70% chance on the tail flip, or the coin flip, sorry, then, I mean, his defense still isn't bad, but you'll be taking quite a bit more damage. And then again, even if your health is 60% or less and you have the high chance of guarding and you flip the coin, you get the other 50% where you don't guard. Then not only do you have less health, you're still taking a decent amount of damage on a super attack. So it's good, but it comes with an asterisk. It's if you guard, then he is amazing. If he doesn't guard, he's good. Like, again, that's just my personal preference. It's good that he has the guard there. It can be useful. I just don't like the chance of guard. But other than that, he's a very good unit. Good links, as I've already said. He goes on some very good categories. Super Saiyan 3 has got a huge buff. Like a huge buff from this celebration with all the Super Saiyan 3 units. Bardock. And I was talking to someone in the comments the other day. I will get your name. Just put some respect on it. Gallenfire 24. Videos for you, my dog. Super Saiyan 3's got a huge buff. Super Saiyan 3 Bardock needs to get his EZA soon, because all these Super Saiyan 3 units will be thriving on that category. Also, he goes on Pure Saiyans, which is one of the best categories in the game already. And then when Super Vegeta comes out, probably in like a month, not even a month now, probably less, it's literally the best category in the entire game. Vegeta's family. Worthy Rivals is okay, Crossover's good, and he's also got Gifted Warriors. But those main 3, Super Saiyan 3, Pure Saiyans, Vegeta's family, he's on some very good categories with some very, very good units. But all in all, I do like this unit. It's a very good unit. It's also one of my boys. It's not biased, but I said I'm not a huge fan of chances to guard, I'll be honest. But if he does guard, it's a win-win. If he doesn't, to be fair, he's kind of on the level of a lot of units in the game where he'll take a decent amount of damage, but you probably won't die. I mean, if you have 60% HP or less and you're relying on a high chance of guard, maybe when taking a super attack on like ESBR. So maybe I'm being a little bit harsh, but as I said, it's my personal preference on the chances to guard. But all in all, he's a good unit and he's putting out good numbers. To be fair, mine is rainbowed, but he's putting out good numbers. It's a good unit. I'm just not a huge fan of chances to guard, but if he does guard, amazing. Do let me know what you think of them down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. And